let the wild come home, right here in this room.
I went into my Home Depot not expecting much because they hadn't been having much. They had been having a whole lot of the same old, same old. But these little orchids was cute. I got one in the house that I've managed to keep alive for quite some time, actually. That thing's been around for at least 2 or 3 years. And I see they had a table full of succulents. The little burrow's tails caught my attention. These pink princesses, and I keep saying over and over, at some point I'm gonna get one of these newer, more variegated ones and pot it up with my OG. But look at here. They finally had Philodendron Florida Ghost, which is one of my wish list plants. I was like, what? And they do got the Stanleyana. I keep saying I'm going to try it again at some point. Not today, but I'm going to try it again. Let me get my heart up first. Let's see what else. Because if they got Florida Ghosts, I'm like, oh, they got some new stuff. I'm sitting there trying to find the one I think is the prettiest because one is definitely going home with me. Maculatas. I said I gotta get me another one of those and try again with that. And I will. But right now, until I complete that wish list, that's what I'm focused on, my wish list plans. That's not to say nothing else is gonna catch my attention, because they do. Look at these beautiful aglaonema. They so pretty. I might have to grab this one sooner or later. Lord knows I got enough aglaonema, but you can never have too many. Pretty lemon lime heart leaf. Mine's is doing so much better than it was before. I don't know what its issue was before, but it seems to be getting with the program now. Strawberry begonias, lipstick plants, petunias, pothos. They did have Sebe blues and skeleton keys also. Winlandii, which I'm fighting to bring mine back right now. Pretty syngoniums. It didn't give me a specific name for that variety. It just says syngonium. Nothing in the hanging baskets that really, wowed me. That made me say, ooh, I might need to grab this. A lot of the small usuals that you see every single time in every single person's video when they go to the big box stores. Now that's just the first little part of the store where they be having that little initial display sometimes. This is where the real action at, in the garden center. I feel like they got such a wider variety of succulents now. And I see more burrow's tail in there. This one, that one right there always catches my attention. I'm going to wind up getting one. I'm going to have to. Campfire, that's what it's called. And they sunstress so cute. Like, I like when they got this slight little pink margin, but then they also, some of those leaves get red, straight up red. And I love when they do that also. Look at these. I never seen flapjacks this big with that much sun stressing. I thought they were so pretty with that red. I got some big old prickly pears. That Madagascar palm. I usually don't see them that big. Not in my Home Depot anyway. It's only $25. More little succulent mashup pots. Okay, huge aloe. For only $35. That thing is so big. They got a lot of these alocasias and Thai constellations still in here. White wizards or white knights, I forget which one it was. They have billies in here. Boom. With those pretty orange stems. It was definitely a white wizard. More of the usual guys, the ones you see in everybody's videos, because these is like the staples of any big box store's little nursery. Waffle plants, falsarelias. The Brazils, I will say they don't have these all the time. And this one was pretty. This one looked more like one of those Rios or something like that to me though than the regular Brazils, but it was pretty. You got your crow ends, more of those pretty aglaonema. Some of these guys that were here the last time I came. I still love the pink on those pink flamingo Hoya carnosas. More of the usual suspects. Oh, what is going on? My camera skills right now. Yeah, I was picking up a syngonium. I have one syngonium in my house that has done well for me. Just one. But I got about 4 of them in here. It's just one that's thriving. And I'm not giving them no different conditions. That Antoro Velvet, I like looking at it and I like touching it, but it's like, once you get to a point where you have as many houseplants as me, you gotta start getting selective about what you bring home. And it don't enthuse me enough to say I gotta grab this, I gotta have this. Another pretty aglaonema. These cards had much of the same stuff you've seen me post recently. I don't care what nobody say. Marble Queens, some of the leaves that they put out will always amaze me. I don't care how common they are. Big old Dracaena. Ponytail palms, parlor palm, Dieffenbachia, big old peace lilies. More of them painted ladies. They all $16 pots. The devil's plant, otherwise known as calatheas. I'm not going to give them that name. They're not that bad. It's just I can't seem to keep one alive. Beautiful aglaonemas. We got some ZZs in there. Again, still nothing that made me say, oh, I gotta have this. The good Immaculatas again. I'm going to get another one. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Once I get done with my wish list plants. They had these variegated ZZs. That was different. Just because my Home Depot hadn't typically had them. $20. I was very tempted. Because doesn't this look so pretty? Make more of those Florida ghosts. That's the wish list, baby. They're so pretty. Bromeliad Heaven. They had more of those Stanleyanas in there too. They still had these Sabrinas here. One thing I do like is once plants have sat, look at them stems. Once plants have sat in those garden centers sometimes for a while and you keep coming back and they still there, them prime conditions in that garden center will grow leaves so huge for you or trail a plant so long for you. And then that's when you snatch it. More Calathea. And more Billies. Oh, you know what? These ones might be the edibles. I'm checking to make sure. I think these is the edible puences. And at first, I felt like if you have a Billy, do you really need an edible puence? But I feel like these are much fuller than the Billies, and definitely much fuller than my Billy. So it do be tempting. I wonder if I was to mix a Billy in with an edible puence, would anybody even notice? Because I feel like they look so similar. You got your Apobalas. They still got these Goldie Eyes. And I used to want a Goldie Eye so bad. But now some of my plants are so huge and take up so much space that I don't know where I would put another big plant. I really don't. I kept wondering what these were when I kept seeing them, but they're a ficus hybrid. And I don't know about anybody else, but I have not seen ficus that look like this. I'm used to like your Shiveriana type leaf, your Taneki type leaf, your Ruby Red type leaf. This is a different type of thing. Schismatoglotis. They so pretty, but they be so thirsty. Like, you can't let them dry out at all, or you're gonna have crispy looking leaves. Those guys for that size are 30 bucks. I was doing my slow roll back through just to double check. Make sure there wasn't nothing here that was super exciting that I missed. I saw that the smaller Leaf Joy H2O bowls were half off. And I thought about it, but ultimately I was like, stay focused, girl. Look how pretty. So pretty. They had syngoniums in there, different types of ferns. They had all kinds of stuff in those H2O bowls. Dracaenas. I saw those leaves on the other side of that cart and was like, hold up, what is that? I had to go look. I was like, what am I looking at? Because it sure caught my attention. Boom. I realized it. It was a Dieffenbachia. Dieffenbachias can be so pretty. It's just that they require so much light. And I have it now to give. It's just that, again, with me having some pretty big plants already, it's already hard enough to fit them in here. I can't do too many big guys. Too many more, should I say. I have to be very selective. So you see the beautiful, these calathea right here are so beautiful. And these ferns were catching my attention too because they were looking real healthy and they were sure enough reaching for the sky. $16. Look how long these fronds are. I was debating. These guys over here were all $10.99. So that's those syngoniums, this Dracaena that I keep saying I'm going to get one day. Not right now because I'm focused on the wish list, but I'm going to wind up with one of those guys. They catch my attention every time. A lot of these same koias that they had already. I didn't see any new ones. Same thing with the peperomias. And all the little guys down here. And I know it seems like I'm going kind of fast, but if you've watched any of my big box store check-ins recently, you know a lot of this is the same stuff that keeps being there. The things that were different were those variegated ZZs and philodendron Florida Ghosts. Look how, this was what I mean. They so pretty. I'm not going to keep lying to myself. I'm going to probably get one before the summer is over. I don't know where it's going, but I might grab one. Because that size was not a bad price at all. All these big guys here, the Bird of Paradise, the Alocasia, these taller Chivrianas with these brightly colored leaves, they were all in the same pots for the same price. $39. So if you want a Chevriana this tall, Home Depot got them right now for $39. Same thing with the Alocasia, Bird of Paradise, all that good stuff. That kept catching my attention at first because I was like, is that variegation? You know, that other color besides the like creamy yellow, or was that damaged? I wasn't sure. This big old leaf coming out of this peace lily. That leaf is huge. Not leaf, that flower. That flower is huge. These guys are so gorgeous. And the leaves are massive. The more I look at this video, the more I'm like, I might go run over there tomorrow and grab one of those. I can't resist it. $39. Look at that guy. That is like a statement piece. Really. You got your fiddly leaf figs. I will not lie, I've never been a fiddle leaf fig girl. I never really understood the appeal of that particular plant. It's just not my thing. We got the pretty Tanathis over here. They are nice sized pots and nice and spread out. Most of the hanging baths were just spider plants or golden pothos. Look at all that splashiness. I got like what I call an OG Thai kind. It just don't be giving up that much splashiness and variegation, but she alright. She do what she do. Nothing up there that really interested me. Nothing up on that side. You know, you gotta double check every once in a while. It'll be that one thing in there that you did not expect. That's how I got my Anthurium Red Lux at Lowe's. I kept seeing the same stuff. Every time I came into Lowe's, they hadn't been getting nothing new. And I was on my way out the door and it caught my attention. And I turned around and was like, is that? Why, yes, it is. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You going home with me. And I almost missed you. So even once I do my initial walkthrough, I just always like to double back and double check. That little guy caught my attention too. Look how pretty. It looks so delicate and pretty. I'll tell you what, if you want a container full of color with no flowers, succulents will give you that. And I need to get another Coopery because the kids knocked mine out the window. Nobody never said anything. And I kept looking at my window saying, something is missing, something is missing. And I went to clean just behind the couch and everything, and boom, my Coopery had been laying on the floor out of its soil for about a week. That guy died so bad on me. And it was one of my favorite succulents. I think it's so cute. But this campfire, look at that. It almost looked like an optical illusion. I'm gonna get one. And that Sansevieria kept catching my attention as if I don't already have that particular Sansevieria. It just looks so pretty though. I really couldn't tell what this was until I got up close on it. Then I'm like, okay, that's some kind of a bear paw or something. They called it a Coopery Gray, but this don't look like the Coopery that I had. And with them super plump leaves, I kept being tempted. Because I'm like, what is this? I had not seen that before. But I decided I was done. Until next time.